Hi everyone. So I have gotten a few requests to make a simple makeup tutorial, and I'm gonna let you know right off the bat, I am not an expert. I just like makeup a lot. So anything I'm about to tell you are just opinions that I have for myself and the way that I like to apply makeup. Because I'm going to be giving a few different ways that you can, achieve a pretty simple look, feel free to adapt whatever I show you into anything that you would like to do yourself. Now, you don't need a bunch of different types of makeup in order to wear makeup. So as you can see, this is natural skin. The only thing I've done with it today is washed it. So most important for me is eyebrows. As you can see, I'm blonde naturally, so I prefer to fill in my eyebrows. Eyebrows and mascara are the most important to me. So those are the bare essentials for me. Those might be different for you. So if you already have dark hair or something and you've got some nice eyebrows, or you've got dark eyelashes, then maybe you don't even want that type of thing. Maybe you only want to do a bit of skin touching up, or maybe you want to add a tiny bit of inner highlight to your inner corner just to wake your eyes up. What I'm going to show you in today's video is a full face of makeup, but in the most simplistic terms and items that I can think of, and the most natural looking outcome. Natural. It's makeup. It's not natural, but as natural as we can make it look. Because personally, that's what I prefer, and I know that a lot of you might as well, especially if you're a beginner. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, I would always recommend washing your face. Seems kind of obvious, but some people don't remember to do that. So I would wash your face and get off all of the germs and bits of grime and stuff from the day before, and just get yourself a nice clean surface to work with. Second thing that I would recommend is a bit of moisturizer. This is my little travel size one because I didn't want to bring all of my makeup out here, but actually I'm gonna put my hair back a little bit first just so we're not getting makeup into my hair. I'm going to apply a bit of moisturizer onto my face. I'm going to be looking over here because I have a mirror over here, so if I look away, that's why. So just dot it. I go in the four corners of my face and my nose. Okay, the next step, I like to wear a makeup base or primer. So again, I'm going to dot it in my T-zone, which is what this area is called, and I'm just gonna blend it in gently with a couple fingers and let it sit for a couple seconds before you move on to the next step. Now that we have both our moisturizer and primer on, so those are the first two steps, we're going to move on to either foundation. It just depends on what you like to use. I am a BB cream type of person. I just prefer the way that it looks on my skin, and I like that it's a bit lighter than foundation and that it's a bit more brightening. So yeah, I would use either a foundation or a BB cream, or even just concealer if you don't want to use stuff on all of your skin, but I'm going to be showing you how I apply this. And what I would recommend in this case is to just pump a little bit on the back of your hand. I use about one pump. Okay, so I'm going to apply this in nice bouncy motions all over my face, and I'll be right back. So now that I have finished my BB cream, the next step, which some people can skip after you've done your foundation because you might not want any of it, I am going to add a little bit of concealer just here. Same thing over here, and just blend that in. The next step that I usually like to do is eyebrows. There's eyebrow gels, there are pencils, there are twist up they're also pencils, but it's a little bit different because it's twist up. And there's powder. So I am going to use powder. Everybody's eyebrows are different. Okay, and we are back. The next step I definitely recommend if you're going to go through all of the work of putting your eyebrows on, especially if you use powder. I recommend using an eyebrow gel. This is just going to help keep your eyebrows in place for the rest of the day and help them not move around or get smeared off. I'm just gonna run that through my eyebrows real quick. A lot of times I will basically stop here. I'll just apply some mascara and I'll be done. I like that look. Some people might not. It's up to you. But today I'm actually gonna show you an eyeshadow look, just really basic eyeshadow that you can take from pretty natural, like almost nothing, to quite dramatic, and it just depends on what you are using. If you don't put a base down before you put your eyeshadows on, you're basically wasting your time because it's just gonna smear, it's just gonna crease, it's not gonna look very good after a few hours. So I would highly recommend putting an eyeshadow base down. So I'm gonna squeeze out just a little bit of this, and I use my fingers for this. Our next step after you've put eyeshadow primer is going to be the eyeshadow. There are so many different types of brushes that you can use. You can use your fingers, you can use brushes. I'm going to use one brush. This method is a 3-step method: base, shadow, deeper shadow. And you can do this with any 3 eyeshadows that you want. And you can mix it up depending on what time of day it is. If you only want to put a light base shadow and leave it at that, totally fine. If you want to add the middle shadow, mid-tone shadow into the crease and make it a teeny bit more dramatic, also fine. And if you want to darken it up for like going out at night or something, or you just want to have a bit of a smoky eye effect, you can add the 3rd shade. And this is the most simple way that I can tell you how to apply eyeshadow. This is my go-to eyeshadow palette. I really like this. I use this for my eyebrows. I use these 2 colors for my eyebrows, and I use these 4 shades primarily for my eyeshadow. As a base, I'm going to use the color called Stark. So I'm gonna put this all over the eyelid. You can put it up in your crease a little bit. It just depends on what you would like to have. Then you can stop there and put mascara. But I'm gonna go for step number 2. It's the one right here. So I went from this color, which is the lightest. Then I'm gonna go in with this shade and create a little shadow in the crease. I'm gonna start at the very edge of my eye and work my way in and just kind of go in like this. Blend. Blend, blend, blend. I usually stop at this step. I usually put this one on and then put mascara and I'm done. Obviously this video is gonna take a little longer because I'm explaining all of the steps, but this whole process usually takes me 15 minutes. And I go about to where my iris is on this inner corner side. So I go all the way up to about there. Also, I'm gonna bring just a little bit of this underneath my eye and connect it with what we did up here. So again, I used this one, then this one, and now I'm gonna go over to this one, which is my darkest shade. I'm just gonna dip the very tip of my brush in it, tap it off just to get rid of any of the extra powder that's on there. And I'm gonna go at the very end of my eyelashes to where like this area of my eye is, the outer corner, and I'm just gonna blend it in there so that it darkens the edges. And again, you can make this as dark or as light as you like. The darker you get, the more intense it's gonna look. And the thing about eyeshadows is you can always put more, so definitely start with not so much so that you can add some. It's a lot easier to add than it is to take away. Okay, so I have sat here blending for quite some time just because I think that the more you blend, the better it's gonna look. So as you can see, darker on the outside, you can see a little bit of the inside here where we had our base shade, and then I blended it all up about the same distance that we put that mid-tone shade. You can switch these up for any colors, so if you wanna do like pink eyeshadow, light, medium, dark. If you wanna do purple, light, medium, dark. And of course you can mix other shades into it as well if you want to make it a bit more dynamic. And the last step for eyeshadow is taking the very, very lightest shade, and I'm going to put a little bit into the inner corner, and that's just going to make you look a little bit more awake and have your eyeshadow be a little bit brighter. So that's it for eyeshadow. Might seem like a lot, but again, you can adjust it to whatever you see fit. Second to last-ish step is eyeliner. You do not have to do this, and this totally scares some people. But I've done it for so long that I don't really care anymore. It just kind of helps bring all of it together. I'm sorry if it looks scary. You probably can't see difference at this point. It's usually once you put your mascara on, you can see the difference. The last step is mascara. So I'm going to use my little sample size one. The best way I can describe how to do mascara is first get all the little gloopy bits off of the end, wipe those off. Find a mirror and tilt it so that you're tilting your head back so that you're not whacking it all up onto your eyelid, and go right by the roots, turn it and wiggle it. and that's just gonna get you the most product onto your eyelashes. So I have added the rest of my mascara, and I'm just gonna get real close and personal. And that's basically it for my way of doing things. The last thing I would probably do is add just a little bit of powder. I'm just gonna add the tiniest bit under here, and that's gonna help keep my concealer and stuff from creasing. And the last but not least thing I do if I'm not wearing a lip color is highlighter. So I just use a really natural one. I don't like the super sparkly ones. And I'll do a little bit down my nose, a little on my Cupid's bow, just like that. And then you look nice and glowy if you didn't look super glowy already enough with that BB cream. Some people like blush. I really don't like blush, at least not on myself. And some people do contour, which again, you can do if you like. I don't like to do it. I am way too lazy for that. I guess I'll add a lip color just so you can see what it looks like. It's just a lip tint. I find this way easier to wear because you don't have to touch it up or anything because it just stays on your lips. And we are finished. So that wraps up this little tutorial for you. I hope that it helped some of you, especially if you are a beginner. If you liked it, you can give me a like, or you can tell me in the comments below because I love reading those. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye! Oh yeah, and I forgot to say this is what it looks like with glasses, which, let's be honest, I always have on. Sorry if you can see the ring light in my glasses. Yeah, so this is what it looks like with glasses, which I try to make it so that it works with glasses because I always wear glasses. So, yeah. Okay, that's all. All right. Bye.